Here I am, as I promised you before. I'm supposed to introduce myself. I completely always forget to do that. You should know who I am. So Maria Marshall with Westwood Real Estate Group. I'm here with the woman, the myth, the legend, Tracy White from International City Escrow, and kudos to Dave Ott, who ought to be taping this because
our behind the scenes.
yes, behind the scenes guy.
Doer
What
of
would I do
good,
without him?
legendary.
Yeah, and so I interviewed Holly Applegate already, and I've been kind of trying to do an anatomy of a sale, right? Because what a lot of people will see is listed and sold in 3 days for $10,000 over, and you're like, well, what are you even doing, right? Not knowing the behind the scenes, especially with a buyer or seller, the behind the scenes things that happen. So we start with finding the buyer. We get in a relationship. To know, trust, and like us, right? Get either a listing or a buyer, right? The listing, we get it, the CMA done. We get a preliminary title report, which I talked to Holly about, and then we open something called Escrow.
That's me.
That's her. And she's the laugh behind our laughter, the smile behind our stress. And what escrow is the neutral third party between the buyer and the seller. So whether I'm representing a buyer or a seller, we have to open an escrow because this is California. And what this escrow does is handles everything between both the parties and the dramatic agents.
Yes, that's true.
And my favorite escrow officer is Tracy, and so I thought I would come and chat with her and just get a quick synopsis of what happens once we open escrow and boom, we send it over to you. What are some of the things that the general public doesn't know that goes on that protects either that buyer or the seller?
Well, first of all, you can buy a house without escrow or title, but you would never, ever, ever, never, ever want to do that because those vehicles are in place for a reason. Same thing with a realtor. I would not buy or sell a house without a realtor. They have the disclosures that are necessary, everything that's required. Mm-hmm. So when escrow opens, I order the preliminary title report from Holly, so I get all that going, and then I look at the contract, making sure that the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted. If not, I come back and say, hey, missed an initial or whatever. Right. We get all that going. One of the first things I do is coordinate with the buyer's lender because the buyer's lender is on a time frame to get fees disclosed, and that's very important. So the lender will typically reach out to me within the first 48 hours. We would confirm loan amounts, make sure the fees are looking the way they're supposed to, so that they can make the proper disclosure. A couple days later, the prelim comes in, and we make sure that the title is clear, that there's nothing unexpected.
Bam.
Sometimes we have unexpected things. I've found old loans from 1946 before.
No.
Yes.
Holy mackerel.
So we never know what's going to pop up. On the statement of information form that we send out to the seller and buyer at the very beginning is extremely important, because when you own a property, if you were to have like a credit card judgment or something you didn't pay off, it can actually attach to the property. So when I look at the prelim, I don't see that because it's against you individually.
Oh.
But once title runs that statement of information that you provide to me, then I'm able to determine that either you're okay, or if something pops up, we can address it.
So the property is run and the person is run.
Right, and the property, and we don't know about the person until we get that statement of identity.
Gotcha.
So when you look at that purchase agreement, I believe it says that the seller needs to provide that in 3 days, and the buyer really should too, because the buyer could have something potentially that could be an
comes
issue.
up when the loan gets handled.
Absolutely, that could affect that loan and the buyer qualifying for that loan. So,
and sometimes people have the same name, because we've had that happen.
Yes.
And
if you can imagine somebody named John Smith and how many John Smiths are in LA County, they could find pages and pages of John Smiths, and there's no way to know if it's ours or not. And that's what that statement of information does.
I had a Joe, his last name shall not be mentioned, who was married, had kids. I'd sold his kids' houses, I sold his house, and he's a child support claim came up against somebody with the same name, and his wife laughed and laughed, and I said, "You got some kids we don't know about?"
Yeah.
No, but of course Tracy figured it out. But
Yeah.
the reason that the it's important to have an escrow officer who's had how many years?
Oh, 31 plus. We
Is
don't want to
that-
go past that.
She started very young.
I was
And
10.
that's great. My favorite story, and I had a situation where a property was inherited. There was there were I think 6 kids. There were 3 on the title. Some of them had spouses. Some of them had spouses who were, you remember
that was
that
our
one?
fun
Who
one. Oh,
were-
yeah, I
who
do.
were who had passed. There was one who remarried, and we literally, and a few of them English as a second language. So Tracy's like, let's get them all in the same room at the same time, and by golly, we did.
Yeah.
And you signed this one, and I signed that, and then you signed this one, and just it was magical.
Yeah, we got it all done.
I thought a unicorn flew over at one time. I wasn't sure, but I think that's what I saw. But what is your advice as far as why choose your escrow over, like, say, not necessarily broker owned, or say someone wants to fight you on the escrow company? What is it about it? I mean, I know what it is about International City, which I really love.
Well, I mean, International City Escrow's been around since 1985, and we pride
But
ourselves.
it was a year.
Yeah, it was a fun year.
1985.
It really was. And
Big hair.
we pride ourselves in being the Nordstroms of escrow. Customer service is #1. If I'm your escrow officer and you call me, you will get a call back. You get email responses, all of it in a timely manner, which I think you can attest
Absolutely.
to. And it's very important, you know, when you need to talk to somebody, you need to talk to somebody.
Yes.
You know,
It's a very emotional process.
it is.
Buying and selling is all
Probably one of the most stressful things a seller or buyer will ever do, and I'm very aware of that. So I try to make sure that the client is comfortable, that they understand what they're doing.
She's come in on a Saturday to sign loan documents. She's stayed till 6:30 or whatever after normal hours to sign, and it's been so helpful, because even just calling up and hearing her laugh, or calling up and saying, they're doing this, and you're like, bam, how about this form? And I'm like, we get so many forms, and they change
We do.
so
They
often.
change. We've got some more
but-
changing.
Yeah. God bless America. Yeah, all that rental stuff coming in. But I just wanted to come in and talk to Tracy briefly, and I don't want to interrupt her lunch very much. I went and had a tattoo in your honor.
You did?
5 stars.
Oh.
Oh man, one of them came off.
Did you lose a star? Have I been demoted? Wait, here it is. You are so funny.
Here's 5 stars.
This is a joke between us.
Okay, listen. And anybody who's had a business knows, and I don't know, I don't want to say bad things about people who go on Yelp, but do you have another life that you'd spend all your time ratings in? And it's just an interesting thing, because it's an algorithm, right? And she has so many 5-star reviews, and something happened to where one person,
None of them were showing up.
yeah, they were like put down at the bottom, and my buyer Googled her, and I'm like, wait, what? And then I got the truth, which was down a little bit further, and it was, you've
fine.
been fighting with
Yeah.
Yelp, and it, whatever.
Yelp is
Whatever.
not my friend.
No,
I'm
No.
not a fan of the Yelp.
no,
But the people that use me know,
yes,
you know. I strive
Yeah.
for customer service. To me, that's the most important.
So listen to your realtor.
Yes.
That's the bottom line.
Yes.
I mean, not using a realtor is like buying a timeshare.
It's dangerous because there are so many disclosures out there. I just opened, we call them FSBOs, for sale by owner.
Oh, did you?
I did. I just opened one this morning. No agent. It's a condominium, and they're saying, "Oh, we've got all the documents," and I'm like, "Wait."
Do they need some help?
For disclosures, you never know.
You never know.
For disclosure reasons, you really want to make sure you do A, B, C, and I have no idea. I mean, your job is not my area of expertise.
Right. And
I
vice versa.
don't
Sure.
see all the disclosures. I have no idea what all of them are. I just know that every single one of them is important. So
Well, the transfer disclosure alone is statutory. I mean, you
Exactly.
could actually close a home loan, record it, and the buyer didn't get the transfer disclosure, which is what the seller knows is wrong with the problem. it's not just an option. You
Right.
have to have it. That can be unraveled.
You know, so how many thousands of dollars that you saved in commission? Say it's 12,000, but now it's going to cost you 75,000 to defend it in court. So really, the big picture is what you want to look at.
For sure.
What is the expression? Penny wise, pound foolish, or
Yes.
something like that. Yeah,
Holy mackerel.
yeah. That would be use an agent.
Yes.
Use a realtor,
Yeah, use a
not just
realtor.
an agent.
Yes,
Use a
for
realtor.
sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Well, in closing, I would like to thank my best escrow officer ever.
Thank
I
you.
love her laughter. I love her smile. I love Dave behind the. Say hi, Dave.
Hi.
Behind the camera. He's got an awesome car. He helps out. He's our behind the scenes guy, right?
Yeah.
You never see
Yeah.
him,
But
but you know you can count on him.
Yeah.
Exactly. So my director said I'm supposed to go like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Ring the bell. I don't know what it is. But it's lunchtime. So title, escrow, next will be inspection. And thanks again, sweetheart.
You're entirely welcome. I'll be back.
Okay. Bye.
Let's open escrow.
Yeah, that's